7:25, you're watching hashtag GTV Breakfast. Still to come, we have conversations on mining and swimming. Yes, so you stick around for a lot more of that. WhatsApp number is 055 556 34. My name is Kafui Day, and my guests are in the studio ready for the headlines. Wonder Victor Kuto is on the NDC's legal team. He's also part of their national communication team. Wonder, good morning. Wisdom. Good. And seated next to him is Palgrave Boachidankwa, who is the government spokesperson on governance and security. Palgrave, Machi.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Very well, thank you.
All right. And you can join in this conversation by sending us your comments on everything you hear here. The number again is 055 556 1034. Let me go around the table and just get their thoughts, what's on their minds. Palgrave, what's on your mind this morning?
Well, this morning, a very good morning to you, Kafui, and to your viewers, and congratulations to the New Patriotic Party for a sounding victory in Kumewu. What's on my mind is that once again, Ghana has won. The majority side of Parliament has won. We are particularly excited that we're able to increase the margins from 2020 as until now. We are very confident that the people of Kumewu are going to receive all the support that government has in store for them. And leading up to Asin North, we are also preparing very well and geared that we would take that seat from the NDC. And you are aware that in a very short time, we're going to be opening up the nominations for flag bearership for the New Patriotic Party, which is going to last for a month, from May up until June of 24th. And then if we have more than 5 people that are desirous to lead the New Patriotic Party, would have the Super Delegates Congress, which is slated for August.
What does that mean? What's the Super Delegates Congress?
So the standing orders are that if you have more than 5 persons that are desirous to lead the flag bearership, you need to cut it down to 5. And so a selected few of executives from the various regions would come together to vote.
How is that selection determined?
It's determined by a standing order. So regional chairman, constituency chair, first vice, and then a few other people numbering would come and make that decision. And then you would go into the major congress where every single delegate from the various constituencies, from the various polling stations, regional executives, national executives, government appointees would vote on the 4th of November.
Is this directly a reaction to the time years back towards the end of President Kufuor's tenure when you had 17 people vying for one seat?
Rightly so. So
what was wrong with that?
Well, I don't think that there was anything wrong with that.
So then why was there a change?
I think that it just gives a clearer measure of good competitiveness within the political party.
If you have 17 people going for one seat, it's more competitive than 5.
No. If you have 17,
look at musical chairs. If you have 17 people all fighting,
but you know how difficult it is to have 17 chairs and have 18 people run around it. It's very difficult. Usually musical chairs, maximum 6, 7. You don't have anything larger than that, unless maybe it's a whole community that is fighting for 17. But really, the wisdom
that you had 17 people trying for one seat back then.
I don't think so. I think that the NPP political party is a political party of leaders. It's a leaders of leaders political party. So every now and then you have generational leaders who are so desirous to lead the flag bearership. I mean, we're a political party with a track record of development in freedom. We're a political party with a very strong track record of ensuring that we're building the young people in the next generation. So it didn't embarrass us at all. I think that it rather exposed the New Patriotic Party as a party of choice when it comes to thought leadership, and over the years it's been so, which is why in the 2023 flag bearership race you have many more people who are desirous.
Beyond the 4 that I'm aware of the Vice President, I'm aware of Mr. Tremanting, I'm aware of Dr. Kutu, I'm aware of Mr. Kennedy Japong. So
no, I think
are there more?
Yes, there's more. There's Kwabena Japong, there's a Jakon, there's a Preku, A few more that are going to come up. That I'm aware
People
of.
want to be president.
Well, people want to have an opportunity really to lead the New Patriotic Party and to expand the governance structure and lead some more. I think that is a matter of choice. But you can only have one person being a flag bearer, and you can only have one person being a president to be able to bring change and transformation.
So when will we know of these 5? Because definitely there are more than 5 now, right? So
they are more than 5.
It has to be cut down to 5.
It has to be cut down to 5.
When will that process begin?
I think the process really would begin when everyone has picked up their nomination forms. So when nominations are open, which is going to be very soon.
This month?
This month. I mean, from the timetable, if nothing changes, from the timetable that was issued out. But bearing in mind that we have a by-election coming up in Asin North.
When is that?
I can't quite recall when that is going to happen, but it's going to happen very soon, maybe in the next 2-3 weeks. The Electoral Commission is going to have the by-election. So it depends on what the party executives really do say. But if there's going to be any changes at all, I'm certain that the nomination will be open for flag bearership. The various people that are desirous to lead the New Patriotic Party will have an opportunity to pick up their forms and then complete the forms, go through vetting processes. And when we have more than 5, we would go into a Super Delegates Congress in August. When that happens, then we are determined that after the Super Delegates Congress, the number that we have, which will be 5, will be presented on the main Congress November 4th, 2023.
All right. Has the party come out with the cost of the forms, the filing yet?
Not readily in my mind. I can't quite recall how much we have decided on yet. But I mean, when it comes out, I'll let you know how much it is.
All right. Okay. So that's Palgrave Boakye Danquah, who is the government spokesperson on governance and security, expressing his thoughts about the joy of winning Kumewu. Looking forward to snatching Asin North from the NDC and looking even forward to the primaries, presidential primaries, correct?
Very much so.
All right. From Palgrave to Wonder, what's on your mind this morning?
Yeah. Good morning to our viewers.
Yeah, morning.
I'll start from here.
Okay.
The allowance issues. To be very honest, I am of the view that GBC has come a long way. And in fact, under the current director, people are making some progress, bringing you on board, other staff. People are trying to rebrand the whole GBC entirely. So this is not a time for disruption. From 2017, I mean, we'll go into the specifics. From 2017, it has become known that the allowance of GBC workers has remained the same. So if you have an organization as GBC trying and improving, and this is the time that government should rather encourage them, and it turned out that, look, even after the negotiation has been completed, only the radiation allowance has been paid. I mean, this is serious. So, asking about what is on my mind, I will start from home, from where we are. That if you have workers working very hard, and what government, the least you can do is to encourage them, give them what is due them, and you cannot, I think it's worrying. Second issue on my mind.
Do you represent us? I mean, formally, I'm just curious.
Oh, I've read the collective agreement.
But you don't represent us as
No,
our
please.
lawyers?
No, please.
Oh, okay, right.
No.
Just, yeah.
Thank
disclosure.
you. Yeah. Second issue on my mind, I think that the board chairman and the CEO for GNPC, I think they should slow down a little. You see, the Minister for Energy has written countless time to GNPC as a body. Now look, Ghana shares in the oil deal, the Anadaku West Cape 3-point company should not be sold. And you could see that GNPC, acting through the board chair, are bent on selling this to Petro SA, the South African company. So I know definitely we'll be going to the specifics soon, but my initial thought is that the board chairman and the CEO should hasten slowly. Because in any case, they fall under the Ministry of Energy. The Ministry of Energy is a regulating body. And if you have the ministers in the loop, take time, bring this in, and the ministers, we've all seen the correspondence. So I think that the board chairman and the CEO should not be in a rush to sell Ghana off. Even if you are in a rush to sell Ghana's interest off, do it properly. You have your own ministers in that. Take your time. Let's engage. So what do you think will force the board chair who happens, if I'm not mistaken, the former chairman of the NPP.
Mr. Freddie Blay.
Yes, former chairman of the NPP want to sell Ghana off. It's a problem. And about Kumewu, oh,
I thought you were going to avoid it.
Oh,
You started from GBC and went to GMPC.
no, I have to start from home.
Okay, start from home.
Oh, after Kumewu, we thank God. We've doubled our votes. We thank God. I mean, if you know electoral analysis, you look at the actuals. You look at the actuals. It's like having a by-election in Angolong, where I come from, or Ketu South. Now, there's no way the MPP will make inroads. So if you have an opposition party that has been able to double its votes in Kumewu, it's good news. And me, the signal some of us picked, I'm so happy. My wife comes from Kumewu.
Oh, she does?
Yes.
Okay.
So the signals we have picked, look, some of us, we are really, really happy. The last election, even the independent candidate did far better than NDC candidates. But check the figures as
This time the NDC candidate was second.
Yes, that is progress. That is how you analyze. So to tell that our grassroots, they should not be perturbed at all. We've done a great job. This is not our home base. In any case, in winning election, you don't have to necessarily win the opponent's stronghold. You just have to get gains from their stronghold to win general election. And that has always been the case for the NPP. Anytime they win power, they perform better in the voter region. They don't win voter, but they get good votes. So that is what the NDC has done. As for the Asinov, we can say whatever he will say, but the election will be this year, so I won't talk much. We will get to Asinov, and then the electorate will decide. And our national chair said something, and people are taking it on a lighter note, making fun of it. But upon a second thought, it's really, really solid. He said, look, a time will come, we will have to kill our MP to get development. Already a week or 2 weeks to this election in Kumewu, government started constructing roads. I mean, they sharing rice and all of that. So if I also want the Trekume Road from Agote to Trekume Road to be constructed, then maybe perish the thought. We have to pray that our MP should die. That's the only way to get the NPP government to work.
That's not what the Kumewu people did. They didn't pray for the MP to die.
But
He died. He died. Why are we politicizing
so
his death?
it means God helped Kumewu people.
No, he died because he was ill and he didn't recover.
But that has helped them to get some of their roads fixed. So we want our roads to be fixed. What should we do? Should we pray to God for our MPs to also die? That is where Ghana, that's where we've gotten to now. Before you get developmental project, something must happen. Hey, I have some more. Thank you.
You should have gone to Kumewu. Your in-laws come from there. Why didn't you go there and monitor the election? And I wonder.
I was there last week. We rotate. So our senior men were also there. We were on assignment. And this monitor have to be here. So they kind of share the schedules. So when you're not assigned, you don't just go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there anything you want to respond to from what you heard from Wanda?
No.
At all?
None.
Okay. All right. Let's go through some of the headlines. I think I'll dive off the Petro SA GMPC deal. I'd rather be fired than resign, Freddie Blay replies CSOs. And so Freddie Blay, board chairman of the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, has reacted to calls by a group of civil society organizations calling for him to be immediately dismissed by President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Blay, a former MPP chairman, in an interview with City FM, said he'd rather be fired by the appointing authority than to resign. He also confirmed having held talks with President Akufo-Addo over a May 16 letter from the Minister of Energy, Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, which wrote in respect of a planned sale of 50% of shares of the government stake in an oil field to South African petrol firm Petro SA. Quote, possibly I could be fired, but I don't see any reason why they are saying I should resign about this issue. I've done nothing wrong. I've observed my conscience, and I thought I was protecting the interests of the country, and I'm convinced about it. And if others think otherwise, and if those who are appointing me are saying otherwise, then so be it. Continuing, he said, I've spoken to the president about it, and we haven't gotten to where you ask for his job back. It's not about convincing the president. The law will speak for itself, and the law will talk, and there are a few documents on the agreement. So give me some background to this. As a group of 29 CSOs on extractive governance on May 23, just yesterday, called for the immediate dismissal of Freddie Blay and Chief Executive Officer of the corporation, Opoku Ahene Dankwa. The calls came on the back of recent reports and documents indicating GNPC's intention to sell 50% stake in Jubilee Holdings Limited in a deal with the South African oil company Petro SA Despite significant revenue potential, this interest holds for the state. So this is the issue that is on board right now. I'll read a little bit of that for you. So, coordinator for the Economic Governance Platform, Abdul Karim Mohammed, told the press that the persistent involvement of such persons associated with such deals poses a significant risk to Ghana's stake and interest in the petroleum sector. Quote, we demand the immediate removal of GNPC CEO and the board chairman from their respective positions as they become a threat to Ghana's interest in the petroleum sector. And Mr. Mohammed noted that the Energy Minister, Dr. Opukru Prempeh, has vehemently opposed the decision by the GNPC board chairman in offering interest in Ghana's stake to Petro SA, which is based in South Africa. It's a viable field. It's giving us a lot of money. If we allow this to go forward, what it means is that Petro SA will be entitled to 50% of the earnings from the fields, whereas they have not had any role in developing the field to the point where it is now viable. And so this is what is happening. Palgrave, has this come to your attention?
Very much so, Kafui. It has come to my attention.
The governance man, so talk to us.
I've been following the conversations from yesterday when it started fuming out. I think that the letter is very straight from the Minister for Energy, really to hold onto any purchasing agreement, and the letter has been copied as well to the Attorney General for some inputs. I think that it's early days with these issues. I'm very certain that by the close of week and even by close of day, we should be able to come out very strongly as a government on what government's position is as it relates to these issues that have arisen. It's quite disturbing. I've been following through all throughout yesterday with Petro SA and the demands of the board chair, and I think that when issues really arise, civil society organizations should try to restrain themselves for the calling of dismissal of board chair or even CEOs when the substance of the matters have not been clarified yet. I think that the Minister of Energy has written a letter, copied the Attorney General, has informed the President as well about the issues, and I'm certain that on a governance level, I'm certain that at the very highest level of leadership, there will be some conversations for us to know very well that Ghana's interest is going to be protected as it relates to Petro SA.
You're a governance person. What is the role of a board chairman in a state-owned organization? Do they get down to the granular levels of deals? What is the role of a board chairman?
Well, I think that board chairs' roles vary from agency to agency. Really, at the very governance levels, board are the ones that would make the critical decisions for implementation to be made by the CEO together with the management team. But it may vary from agency to agency. There are some agencies where, in the wisdom and the interest of the board may delegate the chairman to be involved in some level of detailing and conversations together with the CEO and the management for some implementation. And so I would say that it varies. This is not a strict jacket to be able to say that board and management and CEOs are at different arms in terms of operations and governance. The real goal is that the board sets the directives and brings the policy, and the CEO does the implementation of what government so desires to see.
Can you see why this whole matter can easily be politicized, given the nature of, I mean, the board chair was a former chairman of your party. And so it is very easy for somebody to say, oh, well, this one, yeah, it's a party issue. They're trying to grab stuff for themselves. Is there not a flaw in Ghana's, in the way we run things, where we appoint political heads of these organizations, state-owned organizations, people who have interests, political interests?
Well, I don't think so. I think that with how governance is really structured, the president has representatives in the entire governance structure. I mean, civil servants will have chief directors and various directors at the various ministries. Agencies would have political appointees who have the skill and the idea and the expertise to be able to bring strong deliverables, but really to cause policy change and policy directives. I don't see this being politicized, and I hope that it is not politicized. Mr. Freddie Blaise, our former chairman, he's not a sitting chairman as we speak.
He's still a member of your party.
I don't.
And you would have loved to be at Kumewu. When I heard the interview yesterday on CTF, he said, but for ill health, he would have been there. So he's actually politically exposed.
No, he's a very senior member of the New Patriotic Party, but you can't rule out his expertise as it relates to the very unique selling proposition that he brings on board.
Which is?
Well, I mean, a variety of that. I mean, which is what got him to be appointed as board chair.
What is his USP?
Well, no, I mean, it's a variety. He's a lawyer. He's been involved in parliament. He has wide network globally. The president sought his wisdom to go into GNPC to cause effective transformation and change. A merit of that. I mean, I'm sure that I would have the time to peruse all of his life and even present his CV here. But I think that the real goal is that it's not politicized. I think that the minister responsible for energy has come in very clearly, because GNPC is an agency under the ministry.
Is he not on a collusion course with his own minister?
Well, I wouldn't call it so. I mean, because at the end of the day, who suffers on such a collusion course? I don't think that Mr. Freddie Blaise is on a collusion course with the Minister for Energy, and I don't think that the Minister of Energy is likewise also on a collusion course.
Who can fire Mr. Blaise?
The president makes the appointments. The president
on
makes
the recommendation of the minister.
The president makes the appointments. The buck stops with the president. So the president makes the appointment of board chairs, and in consultation with the minister for the sector, the president also makes appointment for the CEOs of the agencies. So the buck really stops with the president to make the decision.
Wanda, do you have any comments you want to make on this?
Yeah. You see, when you look at transactions of this nature, and I'm happy you kind of give some background, you will notice that some oral discussion might have gone on. For the minister to write officially to the board chair, that should tell you that all those backroom conversations didn't work out. And if you see the tone of his letter, you could say he was writing that letter under protest. Because I'm happy you said the board chair is a former chairman of the NPP, and we know the stature of the energy minister within the NPP as well. So they have that relationship naturally from where they come from to even discuss this issue without even coming to the public. So for the minister to reduce his point into writing and communicating officially, it should tell you something, that there's something wrong somewhere. And the relationship between the ministry and GNPC, as we speak now, is questionable, and it will affect other businesses that may not even come to our attention. This has happened before between the ministry and TOR. You recall how CEO of TOR was removed. There was an interim committee. We didn't even know the locus of the committee and all of that some 2 years ago. And if this continues, it will create problem for us. Now, by the singular decision of the board chairman to sell off Ghana's interest, by that singular decision, we are going to lose 50% of the earnings.
It's not been sold yet.
Now I'm saying that if it's done.
It's not been done yet.
Yes, if it's done. But
we can't be speculating. It's not been done yet.
But what is the effect if the deal goes through? What is the effect? That's what we should be looking at. Because the minister is saying that, look, stop, hold on, don't. Why are we having this discussion? It's because something is about happening which the minister wants to stop. And that has come to the attention of the Ghanaian.
Does the minister have the power to stop that deal?
Oh, to the extent that he is the head of that ministry, to some extent, he can stop it. And he's taking the right step. And in fact, we must commend the minister. we must, as even opposition members, commend the minister. Because if the minister didn't have Ghana at heart, he would easily just agree with the board chair and quickly sold everything quickly. Quickly. We will not even get to know. I don't work at the ministry. We wouldn't have gotten to know. So we need to.
You think somebody will sell shares, will sell off shares of GNPC and we will not know?
No, eventually we will get to know. No, eventually we'll get to know. But the point I'm trying to say is that, but for the minister steps that he has taken quickly, we wouldn't be discussing this to even try to prevent it. But the point I'm even trying to make is that it is not even the NDC that is calling for the heads of the board chair. It is civil society. So I'm happy that we are not looking at this from NDC NPP perspective.
Palgrave's point is that some civil society should hold their horses, not be so quick to ask for the heads of the CEO and the board chairman. How do you respond to that?
Oh, but the facts are clear, and at times there's something we call.
Should they call for an investigation? Why for the heads?
Yeah, that's what sometimes we say when the premier facet is established, certain decisions can be taken.
There still needs to be an investigation.
They can be asked to step aside. You know this. So it's not out of place. The call is not out of place. I may not agree, but the call is not out of place, and I'm happy that it's the Ghanaian population that are calling for these drastic measures. If let's say it was the NDC, it was, they are playing politics. But these are civil society groups. And I'm happy that now Ghanaians are looking at this critically. And this is how, as a nation, this is how we develop.
Palgrave seems amused.
Very amused. I think that the minister
hasn't it?
No, I don't think so. I think the minister has been very forthright, yes. And that's really what everyone expects of all ministers, having a clearer grips of their agencies, and also clearly understanding what happens within the agencies. I am certain that with the letter that has been written, especially with a copy to the Attorney General, and Kafui, all transactions that happens really at the board level would almost always, especially when it requires shares that are being exchanged from a local country to a foreign country, would have some advice from the Attorney General in terms of opinion. And so I am in no doubt in my mind that this issue would come to rest, but really also to serve as a guide to other persons who are in agencies, to ensure that whatever we do must be done in the very interest of Ghana and Ghana's future. I think that posterity would have to judge everyone well, either NPP or NDC or CPP. Posterity would have to judge as well that when we had the opportunity to serve and to lead, we made good decisions that has impacted the country forthright and has impacted us forward.
So would I say that just at this desk alone, there's bipartisan support for whatever is going on right now?
Well, you could say so. I mean, I have always known that our government is very open as an accountable government. I've always known that the president's appointees have the right skill and expertise to seek the interest of the country, and this is a very typical example. And so Ghana's interest and Ghana's shares would always be protected for the future of the country.
Okay, you're watching GTV Breakfast. My guests are Palgrave Boakye Danquah from the MPP and Wonder Victor Kuto. Is it Kuto or Kuto?
Kuto.
What does it mean?
I'll mention
it. Wonder Victor Kuto from the NDC's legal and communication team. These are the headlines in some of the papers. Of course, of the GNPC Petro SA matter is a big story, but so is Kumewu. And Daily Graphic reports by-election, MPP's Anim wins Kumewu. Other headlines include Damango, where NEDCO has restored power to St. Anne's Hospital. I believe that was a hospital where power was cut off and 2 babies died. 3 years, others are in critical condition. Power has come back after the fact. How sad. after the babies died, power came back. Criminals take over Pantown Hospital. It's really worrying. And report illegal miners, bring North DC to assembly members and chiefs. That's what he's suggesting. Ghanaian Times, definitely it's going to be more Kumewu, but they are focusing on other things on their front page. Payment of surface rentals, 10 IOCs, international oil companies, owe Ghana 2.77 million. Jerry chases them to retrieve arrears. New job in collapsed building, 5-year-old crushed to death, one on admission, so sad. The finder, IMO boss tasks transport minister to spearhead green shipping. Newmont pays over 800 million cedis to government for first quarter. And those are some of the headlines here. Let's dive a little bit into Kumewu. So let me start with you, Palgrave. I mean, you are in a happy mood and everything. But how did we have two Kweku Duyas on the electoral list? They didn't make much of an impact, but it was still amusing and quite interesting to see two Kweku Duyas all wearing cloth, resembling one another. Even at some point in time, they had the same symbol of a bird. One bird was flying towards the east, another one was flying towards the west. And good sense prevailed, and the second Kweku Duya had to change his bird into a hole. What was going on? Was it comedy or something serious? What was happening?
So, Kofi, before I come to that, just the hospital power being restored and the assumption that the power cuts were as a result. I mean, like the babies that had died was as a result of power cuts. I mean, you know, Kofi, as much as I do, that there are other factors that contributes to child mortality in terms of the death of children. My real deepest condolence to the families that have lost these two babies. But it could be a number of factors. I have read a paper. I've sought to understand that through obstetrician gynecological works, it could be maybe stillbirth, could be an issue of maybe preterm babies, maybe they didn't go through the full term of 39 weeks, maybe they were advised for a CS, they couldn't do a CS, so there could be a number of factors. You are aware how children can be born even without the aid of light and still survive, so I wouldn't want us to rest the whole issue or blame the entire lighting system as a result of these deaths.
Granted, but the report says the newborns were said to have lost their lives due to the hospital's inability to test for compatible blood to transfuse them. That's what they are attributing the death of the babies to. But the fact also remains that the restoration of power followed the intervention of the Savannah Regional Minister, Said Muhazu Jibril, and the Member of Parliament for Damongo, Samuel Abu Junapo. So there had to be some political intervention for the lights to come back on. I mean, that's a fact.
Well, I don't doubt that, but I'm aware that the old electricity
4 million
bills.
CDs.
Yes, the old electricity bills. So very clearly, if there's intervention, it means that these two respectable persons might have taken the bill to pay. Or assisted.
We can't
speculate.
They
but
said the reconnection happened after the intervention of the Savannah Regional Minister. He intervened and put the lights back on.
Yes.
Maybe an undertaking in the sign of
But clearly, you understand. I mean, if people use utility, they must pay for that. Quickly into Kumewu. I think that in recent times, you've become a very experienced political researcher. Because politics and the death of it really exposes one to various dynamics and various tools and strategies that must be deployed. You are aware that there can be one called Divine Kuma and then Divine
Kuma Divine
or Kuma Divine. In the sector within which we find ourselves, especially in the sector within which we find, I deliberately did that. In the sector within which we find ourselves, from the Akan tradition, you have very similar names.
But they are related, though.
Really?
The elder one said, the one who became famous is his nephew. And he was speculating that he was opposing him out of anger. That's what the elder one said.
No, but I think that it was a real beauty of politics, really to be able to see that the influence of the senior Kweku Duya with with the bird, the dove, and then the other Kokudia with the hole. Really determines a lot of things. You know, when voters go to the ballot to vote, there are a number of things that they look at. They look at the pictures, they look at the symbols, they look at the arrangement on the ballot sheet.
But that cannot be a serious competitor. I come out, I tell people my sign is a bird, and then election day the bird has become a hoe. Is it magic? I mean, that doesn't show seriousness.
Oh no,
it looks like almost some kind of manipulation was happening.
No, I think that it was the EC made an input into the symbol changing very clearly. You saw there was even a mistake at the time when the Independent was using that of the elephant before that. So I mean, I think that the whole Kumewu Kwekudia case study is one of how politics is done. Because
it didn't make much impact though, because
I don't think it made much impact. If I look at the
numbers,
data,
the numbers, they didn't make much impact. But let me put it to you that the MPP was expecting a close fight between your candidate and the Independent, and it turns out that the NDC candidate becomes number 2. That must have been a surprise for you.
Well, you see, for me, by-elections have really seen many dynamics. You know, this is not the first time we're having a by-election, and I don't want to remind my extended family of the loss of Jebi Dankwa Edu, Ibuakwa North MP, who died leading into the 2016 election, and how we had to go into a by-election. And so, and then also with Ayawaso, West Wagon, the Honorable Ejakun, also leading into a by-election. So there's been various by-elections.
Did the NDC's performance surprise you?
Well, to be honest, the NDC performance didn't surprise me much. To be honest, I mean they went on grounds to support their candidates. Their flag bearer was on ground, their party chair were on ground, various sitting MPs who are not even within the Ashanti region came on grounds to support. The NDC, clearly, if you see, have been growing in terms of voter turnout, even in the Eastern region. They are closing up gaps, but the strength of the New Patriotic Party is very strong within our strongholds.
You're not worried?
I don't think that the word is worry. I think the real word should be that the NDC should not have a lot more advantage than we should. But there are a number of factors to it. I mean, at the backbench of we doing construction, people have lambasted our government that we are doing these constructions because of by-elections.
Is it not true?
It's not true.
It's not true.
It's not true.
The timing was really interesting.
It's not true.
It was a wonderful timing.
Yeah,
use my man's name.
It's not
wonderful timing.
It's not true. I know developmental projects that had gone on in Kumewu District Hospital that is almost 90% completed, TVET that is completed, boreholes that are being built, libraries that have been built and been in use. So that I know developmental projects that have been going on. But I think
so the roads just popped up.
No, it was very timetabled. I mean, the president has consistently stated that it's going to be many years of roads and infrastructure. So it was extremely timetabled, and I find it very disheartening that the chairman of the NDC would purport to state that people should ask for the death of sitting MPs for developments to go on. Our government has developed this country with infrastructural works, even where we do not have sitting MPs belonging to the New Patriotic Party. Our government has not just been a government for the New Patriotic Party, but it's been a government for the people of Ghana. We have sought to develop this country on a large scale of value chain. Obviously, at that large scale of value chain, you need to make sure that every sector receives a booty of that. I find it very unfortunate that we would want to call for the death of an MP before development comes in. I don't think that's what it is. We have the track record of bringing huge development. We have the track record of bringing huge industrialization. We have the track record of expanding schools and introducing STEM. We have a very good track record of having one district, one factories. We have a track record of bringing in 365 ambulances. And so what we have
roads
done,
is just part of the
it's part of the plan.
Okay, let me bring in Wonder. Your party made a whole. They were at pains to say, oh, listen, because of the man had died, and your chairman was on record has said all kinds of things, whether it's political talk or not. Are you going to now spin your performance out of control because you are claiming you doubled your performance? This is something that you should be all excited about. Bottom line is that you still lost.
Thank you.
You had less than 20% of the vote.
I will start from the lighter note. You see the symbol issue, the bed.
Yeah.
When I first saw two Kwekuduas with same or similar symbol with the bed, I told somebody, so no, there's actually different. That one of the bed had finished eating.
One bed had finished eating?
Yes, and the other bed is not going to eat.
Oh, okay.
It's like, but...
Those are the beds, eh?
Yeah.
That was original. Those were the original symbols. And then one was turned into a hole.
But
okay.
On a more serious note, it also exposes the lapses in the Electoral Commission, the internal controls. You know, the EC released a statement that, per the rules, they have the power to change a symbol if one of the candidates is refusing. And that the notice of poll that was first published was in error. Their district office did not consult them. How can this notice of poll is a public document? And if you are not done or you don't have the final, why publish it? And this has some psychological impact. Now, last minute, a week to the election, you now enforce the rule that the junior Kwekudua is refusing to change his dove, his symbol, so we are using a hole. At that time, the imprint on people's mind, and these elections are not delegate elections, it's a general election, so you have people's educational background varies.
But in the end, they both shared 12% of the vote, so it wasn't material.
I'm even looking at the larger picture of the EC internal control mechanism going to 2024. The larger picture. This is by election, one constituency, all the attention is on Kumewu. By 2024, we are going to be dealing with possibly 276 constituencies.
So why isn't the NDC more interested in having those conversations? There's some conversations that the EC has with parties, and you pulled out of those meetings.
Oh, but prior to the election, I think the EC...
How can you talk to the EC when you're not in those meetings? INEC.
You know, boycott at times is also a way of communication.
Is it not time to get back into INEC?
Oh, of course. But the point is, boycott is also a means of communicating.
What have you achieved outside of INEC?
Well, like I said, boycott is also a way of communicating.
IPAC, I beg your pardon. IPAC.
The party, but
if
you keep going for IPAC, and you don't achieve anything, you only get the ruling government using smaller parties to push their way through. Then why continue going? Because when you go, you validate the process.
So how do you dialogue with the IEC?
Yeah, so steps have been taken. I mean, just last week or two, the EC even supervised our internal elections. If we do not have some good relationship with the EC, I'm not sure the EC would have conducted the election in the first place.
You have a good relationship with the EC?
To some extent. But what I'm saying is that if you look at the Kumewu by-election, the EC own internal control system has been exposed.
Okay. But overall, what is your verdict of how they conducted the election?
Oh, it was okay. Overall, it was okay, peaceful. And that's why I'm saying that, you see, the concentration is on one constituency. So the attention, the focus, high-ranking personality, my senior brother here just mentioned that even we have some of our MPs as polling agents and all of that. But that wouldn't have happened at the national election.
Are you expecting the same kind of action for Asin North?
Oh,
now that you've lost the seat there.
Did you say we've lost the seat in Kumewu?
No, Asin North.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for the Asin North by-election, I mean, I would just be surprised if my brother will come and say that the roads that they will be constructing are timetable and all of that. We all know that very soon they will move there. They will use the Kumewu approach and start constructing roads again.
We should start checking out Asin North.
Oh, they will start constructing roads. And some people have expressed the view that the IMF money probably should have delayed a little. So if you don't take time, by the time we finish these 2 by-elections, the IMF money will be finished.
But are there not serious controls? The IMF will not allow the money to be spent left, right, center. The whole purpose of going to IMF is to discipline the way you spend.
If you look at the track record of this government, you'll be worried.
Have previous administrations used IMF money to do things that are outside of the boundaries of IMF expenditure?
Oh, to the best of my knowledge, the NDC administration did very well in terms of managing the money that came from IMF. You understand? But
you seriously think that this 600 million it will be used for election purposes?
I'm saying, if you look at the track record of this government, and you ask a very strong question, that few weeks to the election, roads are being constructed, people are giving rise. We have the videos. And I just hope that the special prosecutor is also looking at all of that. Look at the goodies that were going out just for a by-election.
What kind of goodies?
Oh, some people even giving fiscal cash there. We saw the envelope. Of course, those envelopes, we can infer that there were monies in those envelopes by national officers of the NPP.
Like?
The national organizer, Henry Nana B.
You saw him do that?
I saw the video. I wasn't there, but I saw the video. Holding an envelope. I saw the video, even a picture.
And you can confirm there was money in the envelope?
That's what I'm saying. I can infer reasonably.
Reasonably
that those envelopes had money in them.
All right. Do you know how much?
No. I cannot infer the expensive amount. But at least I saw rice.
But you guys do all these things. Our politicians, both sides, you do all this stuff. You induce voters to.
But he is.
For you. You pass people and say you're giving them. You give them money, so it's for transport.
My brother is saying that all these things were already planned out, all the rules. So we hope that of Asin, they are also waiting for their rules. But I'm not surprised why they are jittery. IMF are just coming for reports that the free SHS, which is the flagship project of the NPP, was poorly managed and targeted. Free SHS. Look at the debts portfolio of this country. We are not able to service our debts. In fact, the finance minister said Ghana was what? We are in stress. We are virtually bankrupt as it stands now. So I'm not surprised their last minute efforts. Look at the unemployment rate in this country.
What is it? What's the rate?
Now we'll get to the exact figure, but you and I know.
Oh, but you just said I should look at that. And what's the rate?
Look at the inflation. The inflation.
What is the unemployment rate?
The unemployment rate should be around 33%. I'll get it for
33%?
Yeah, I'll get it for you. I'll get it.
Gas service?
I'll get it for you. That's what I'm saying. I don't have it here, but I'll get it for you. I mean,
no, but you can't just say stuff like that and run away.
But we all feel the unemployment in this country. And
we feel the unemployment. I want to know the figures. What are the figures?
No, I'm saying for the figures. I don't have it readily here.
Okay.
But the Ghanaian.
So you want to withdraw the 33%?
Yes, I will withdraw it. Okay. I will withdraw it. Thank you. But the point is that there are no jobs in this country. As for that one, Ghanaians listen to me who understand that there are no jobs. People finish university, moving around their CVs and all of that.
So what is the NDC solution?
Is to manage the economy properly. You block wastages, corruption. And once you do that, you have resources to even put people, empower people to go into entrepreneurship. So we have the master plan.
And Asin North is the next stop. Is that it? Who's representing NDC for Asin North?
The party, a communique by the General Secretary, who is our Chief Executive, has said that we stand solidly behind the former MP, Kwesi. Yes, as I understand.
The person who's been taken, explain this to me. Who's your candidate?
I'm just saying that the General Secretary issued a notice after the Supreme Court ruling.
Okay. And
my understanding is that the party is behind the former MP to contest the by-election.
Again?
Yeah.
Is that legal?
It's legal. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong.
So clarify for me. So you've lost an MP out of from Asin North because what? The Supreme Court said what?
Okay. So first and foremost, the reasoning of the judgment is not out, but basically it has to do with the interpretation of Article 94(2)(a).
Okay.
That talks about allegiance, and that at the time he filed his nomination.
Okay. He wasn't a Ghanaian.
No, he
owed allegiance to Canada.
Yes.
Okay.
So not only Ghana but other countries.
Okay.
So basically that was it. Okay. But at the time, it is interesting to know that at the time that he was elected, at the time he took the oath of office as an MP, he has renounced.
He's Ghanaian citizen.
Yes.
So now he's a Ghanaian.
He has always been a Ghanaian.
Okay. So you're going to put him up again.
Yes.
As the MP.
Per the notice from our general secretary.
Okay. Is that not a risky endeavor?
No. The ruling from the Supreme Court itself says that if you want to even go by the ruling, assuming the party has stated this disagreement with the ruling, which is fair. If you want to go by the ruling as it is, it says that at the time of filing the nomination. So if they open nomination today, as of today, does it owe allegiance to Canada? That is how we should look at it, legally.
So you can just bring him back.
That is you can even check.
You should expect his name on the notice of poll.
By the notice from our general secretary.
All right.
That is the position.
Okay.
People have raised issues of criminality and all of that. Why? Which law prevents you from going to Parliament if an allegation or if you are on criminal trial? He has not been convicted.
Okay.
By any court of competent jurisdiction.
All right. Well, Wonder, you are the lawman. We'll see how that goes. Pargrave, we have a minute just to wrap up.
Yes. Maybe I might even need more because you see, Kafui. Well, just quickly, the IMF money that has come is to do 6 key things. Our government and the government of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is not going to use IMF money to do campaigning. Our government is not going to use IMF money to even run election 2024. Not at all. There are 6 key things the IMF money is going to do, and I find it very disturbing that any well-meaning Ghanaian would seek to purport to the global world that funds that are coming in to ensure that our debt becomes sustainable over the long haul, funds that are coming in to ensure that we have fiscal consolidation, funds that are coming in to ensure that we strengthen our monetary and exchange rates, funds that are coming in to ensure that we build stronger financial institutions, funds that are coming in to ensure that we have strong macro critical structural reforms, funds that are coming in to ensure that we continue to maintain peace and security within the sub-region, funds that are coming in to ensure that we protect the life and livelihood of the poor and the vulnerable.
So it's not for election.
And to make sure that there's growth and transformation. Okay. These funds cannot be used for election. The first $600 million that has come in is going to be reviewed after 6 months before the next tranche is going to come in. And so no one should believe a purported propaganda that our government is going to use the IMF funds for electioneering. There's not a track record in our government that we have used IMF funds for electioneering. So that's one. Okay. Now, 2, the Electoral Commission, as a tool of instrument, administers electioneering processes, and that's what is mandated by law. The Electoral Commission has been extremely credible. They've been a very integral referee over the years, and for anyone to purport to say that the Electoral Commission has wanting to manage the Kumawu election is neither here nor there. The Electoral Commission participated very credibly in the NDC election, even in the midst of their own challenges with their registration. The Electoral Commission still aided that. When we talk about free SHS and we talk about jobs and we talk about these other issues. Look, Kofi, I'll tell you of a truth. Free SHS has become a game changer and has moved way beyond becoming a government policy to becoming a civic responsibility of the Ghanaian people. And I promise you that the literacy rate as a result of free SHS in the next few years is going to be almost 95 to 99% in terms of people that are very highly skilled and very highly educated. Anyone who downplays the impact of free SHS does not clearly understand the value chain of education. And finally, in conclusion, our government in terms of job creation, you see, our government on the backbench has created an entrepreneurial platform We brought Youth Start for young people to have an opportunity to become entrepreneurial. We've brought funds for young people to write proposals and think outside the box so they can have these funds and go into real jobs, tangible jobs like farming, going to real jobs. People go to Chicken Man Pizza. It's a creation of our government. Our government funded Chicken Man Pizza when he brought his proposal to NEIP, and it's been going on and on and on and on. So any desirous young person who has gone to the university, who has graduated, there are funds available for you to become entrepreneurial. And our government is seeking to ensure that the life and livelihood of the Ghanaian people is a pick.
Awesome. Pagre Wachi Dankwa. He's a government spokesperson on governance and security. Thank you very much for your contributions. Yeah, 30 seconds. You don't even have a minute. 30 seconds.
Just to smuggle this in.
You're smuggling something in. Smuggling is illegal.
That you see, since 2017, we all know how utility prices have been up and all of that. But the workers at GBC, their allowance, the government of Ghana acting through the fair wages have taken off their allowance. And this thing that is happening at GBC is happening in other institutions. And that is my worry. Just last week, there's 18% increment in water.
Effective June 1.
Yes. Okay. But the plight of GBC workers, as we speak, they are living on 2017 allowance, the basis.
We thank you for your interest in our matters, and we thank you for your presence here as well. Wanda, you're out of time. It's Wanda Victor Kuto, NDC legal team and communication team member. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day. My name is Kafui Day. We're going to be talking about UN Peacekeepers Day. I see some uniformed officers in the house looking all spick and span. I love the shining shoes that they have. I'm going to look at my face in those shoes because those shoes are shining like mirrors. And then we have an experienced Share Ghana conversation, and then swimming. Somebody just got up one day and swam the whole length of the water Lake Davi. Nukejo, why? We'll find out from her. Yvette Tete is our guest on the show. Stick around. My name is Kaf. Going for some more breakfast. Stick around. I'm going to where Thelma comes to speak with the officers.